Hello bookish friends, welcome and welcome back to my account. My name is Drew and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And for today's video, I am coming at you today with a monthly TBR video, and this is going to be my TBR for the month of November. Now for the month of November, I do have like a separate monthly TBR that I want to make because I realized in the month of October I never made a October TBR or an October new releases video, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm hoping to do all those videos today, so let's hope my camera will stay charged and let's just sit and chat about books. I am here to talk about the readathon that I am participating in. I always participate in this readathon. My friend Donna over at Mom's Book Collection and Manda over at Manda the Biblio, they always host this readathon every August, March, and November, I think. I'll leave the correct dates or correct months on the screen or down below in the description. But anyways, this readathon is called Readathin, and this is just for a readathon to try and thin out your own TBR. Everyone has that goal of trying to get their books from whatever number it is currently down to 0 by the end of the year. I actually don't know how many unread books, and I really don't want to know. But without further ado, let's jump into the reading challenges, because there are 12 reading challenges here, and I have 12 books for each of those prompts. I do know there are self-care prompts as well, but I generally don't love doing those, even though every month when it comes to my wrap-up, I always notice that I do my self-care prompts more than my actual reading, which I find so funny. So anyways, let's jump into this. This is happening all month long from November 1st to November 30th. And like I said, it's hosted by Manda and Donna. There's 12 challenges, so I'm going to read off the challenges first, and then after that I'll show you the books that's on my TBR. So first challenge is to read your 11th book on your TBR shelf. It can be an actual shelf, it could be a TBR cart, it can be just a random stack and count the 11th book, whatever that 11th book is. Challenge 2, read a book that has been on your shelf for 2 or more years. So basically this is like a TBR vet, whatever is the oldest book you had on your TBR shelf. That one was a little tricky for me because I had to think about it. I had to be like, wait, I have 4 options for this, but I don't know which one I'm in the mood to read. So I'll let you know what I'm reading for that. Challenge 3 is next in a series. We all have that one goal of trying to complete as many series as we can. So I'm very excited for the one that I picked out for that. Challenge 4 is to read the shortest book on your TBR, so anything under 250 pages. Challenge 5 is to complete a reading challenge. Whatever reading challenge you can think of, try and complete those, because it is November and we are trying to wrap up all of our reading goals for the year. Challenge 6 is to read a book you haven't heard anyone talk about, so a book you think is underhyped or unpopular right now. Challenge 7 is to read a book you want to read before 2025, which is crazy that it's already almost 2025. Challenge 8 is to read a book with a fall item on the cover. So that can be leaves, it can be like a crown or whatever. Whatever you think is fall, I would say definitely pick that up. And challenge 9 is to have somebody else choose a book. For this one, I had my friend Heather pick for me. So thank you so much, Heather, for picking out the book that you picked. Challenge 10 is to read a book you've been putting off for a while. So that one book or multiple books that you feel like you have been putting off and you just need an excuse to read it. Challenge 10 is to mood read. So literally pick any book you want to mood read. And then challenge 12 is to read a book, include the word only, because Lala from Books and Lala hosts the buzzword challenge each month, and the word for the word for November is only, which is exciting because I do have a book I'm excited for that one. So now that I gave you all the reading challenges, let's jump into what my TBR is. It's a lot of heavy fantasy books, so beware of my challenge to myself. But yeah, let's just get started. So to read your 11th book on your TBR shelf, I have my TBR cart here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Let's move you. So this cart right here was the book that I picked it off of. So whatever my 11th book was, which I was so close to getting something I loved. But my 11th book from that TBR cart was dun, 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 Ghostsmith by Nikki Peru Precha. This is the second installment of the House of Dead duology. I've read book 1 last summer and absolutely loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I found the first book to be a bit slow, so I'm hoping this one is a lot faster paced. This is like one of my most anticipated sequels of the year, and I got it the day it came out, so I'm happy to say that I am finally reading it in the month of November. Also, I'm not going to say it yet. I want to see if you guys can think of it. There's a little theme around my books this month. But yes, this is book 2 of the series, and I'm hoping to wrap this one up this month because it's literally the final book of the series. Oh, I didn't even put you guys away. Can you tell I bulk filmed yesterday? Challenge 2 is to read a book that has been on your shelf for 2 or more years. And for this one was really hard for me. This one I was thinking about all over my room. I was like, what's like the oldest book that I can think of? I'm going to be reading this because this is my book club pick for my friend Mel over at Completely Melanie. Right? Yeah, Completely Melanie. Wow. AKA BookTube Mom. Her Patreon buddy read for the month of November is going to be Furyborn by Claire Legrand. This is a first book of a YA fantasy trilogy that I actually own all 3 books of, so that's why I'm picking this challenge for this book to be 2+ years, because I have the whole entire trilogy completed on my shelf, but I haven't read them yet. I've read book 1 before, and I remember liking it. I think according to Goodreads, it says I gave it a 3 stars for some reason, which I'm curious about. So I'm excited to reread this and see if I love this one, and to finally pick up one of Mel's Patreon buddy reads that she does. Oh yeah, it says 4 stars, buddy read, first in a trilogy of fantasy. And I read this back in 2020. Thank you, future or past me. So yeah, this has been on my shelf for quite a few years now, and so has the whole series. You can see the pages are a bit yellowed as well, which is kind of gross. But I'm excited to reread this, and hopefully I'll love it the second time around. And Ashley goes through the whole series this time. Next challenge is challenge 3, to read the next book in that series that you want to read. And for me, I want to continue reading the Hollow Star Saga by Ashley Shuttleworth. So I'm going to be reading The Behemoth of A Grim and Sunken Vow by Ashley Shuttleworth. This is the 3rd installment of the series, obviously. I know book 4 comes out in November of this year, so I'm so excited to see that we finally have the finale of the series coming out. It's been years in the making for it. I read book 1 last year, absolutely loved it. Read book 2 this year, loved it even more. And then I started reading this in like the spring/summertime, but then my library book of it was due, so I was like, I can't renew it, so let me just buy myself a finished copy. So I bought myself a copy, that way it goes along with the whole series. I can't wait to get my hands on book 4, that way I can take my like series picture that I always do, you know. So stoked for this. I hope this doesn't break my heart like all the book reviews have been saying so far. Nervous for this, but yeah. And it's also my biggest book on this TBR, I think. So wish me luck. I am nervous for this one, but hopefully this is a 5-star read for me. Next challenge is to read the shortest book on your TBR. I don't know if this is the shortest book, to be honest, but it's a graphic novel, and I haven't read a graphic novel in a hot minute, so I thought what a perfect excuse to pick up one of the popular graphic novels, and that is The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostrich. I read The Deep Dark by this author earlier this year, which is also a graphic novel, and I loved her like artistry in it and also her writing. I felt a little like off pacing with that one, sadly. So hopefully that's not the same thing with this one. But I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this one. And if you can't tell, this is from my library, so I definitely want to read this sooner rather than later. I might read this today just to have something quick and short to do. I do know my copy is a little bit damaged, but that's not from me. It's from like the last Patreon who did that. Anyways, still stoked to read this, even though I feel like this is like a summertime read, but it was like the shortest book on my TBR, so hopefully I'll get to it. If I don't, I'll be really sad. Next one is to read a book, or to complete a reading challenge, and my friend Mel, also from Completely Melanie, Mama Mel, always does the TBR knockout challenge, or TBR, yeah, knockout challenges. Oh my gosh, I forgot the names of it. But there's a monthly theme for it. Let me get my notes up, that way I don't actually mess it up. But yeah, the theme, TBR knockout prompts, that's what it is. And the theme is thankfulness, and one challenge is to read a book that involves family. The second challenge is to read a book with food on the cover. I am going to do both of these challenges in the month of November. You'll see this in my November TBR as well. But the book that I want to use for food on the cover, I had a hard time looking for a book with food on the cover, but I'm excited to say that I found one, and that is Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about this series. I loved book 1, gave it like 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember exactly. But if you can see on the cover here, our main character is eating some sort of bread, I think. I think it's bread, but it counts as food, and it has the decal edges, which I love. So this is a sequel to Legends and Latte, which, like I said, I read and loved. So I'm excited to go back into this world, and I think it's just about damn time that I read this. It's been sitting on my shelf for almost a year now, I think, maybe 2 years, and I kind of miss this world, so hopefully I'll love it. Next challenge is to read a book you haven't heard anybody talk about, and this is one that I got from my public library. This is a new release that came out in 2024, so I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't heard anybody talk about this one yet, but that is It Waits in the Forest by Sarah Doss. This is a new, I think this is a standalone novel, first of a series. It's part of the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, which I'm shocked that nobody has talked about this yet, because usually those books get really hyped up. But I think this is a standalone novel. This one says, how far would you go to get what you desire? Unlike the other resident of the small Caribbean island of St. Village, Selena does not believe in magic. With a logical mind and a knack for bounty, Selena used to dream of leaving home with her boyfriend, Gabriel, and starting a new life together far away, until a vicious, unsolved attack left her father dead and her mother in a coma. Sounds intriguing. It's very short too. I hope I can get to it. And again, it's another library book, so I definitely need to read this one sooner rather than later. Can you tell I'm not awake yet? The next challenge is to read a book you want to read before 2025. And if you saw me on TikTok, you saw that this book was on my 10 before the end of the year list. And so that is the newest Percy Jackson. Like, how can I not put this on my list? If I really don't get to this by 2025, I'm literally gonna cry. You guys know me, I love Percy Jackson. It's literally how I met my friend Taylor, which is amazing. I'm not gonna get into that because I'll get emotional. But this is a newest installment of the Percy Jackson series. This is book 7 of the universe, which is crazy because I remember it only being 5 books. But yes, I love the stenciled edges we got on the book. And then the beautiful and, oh, my receipt. The beautiful end pages we have as well. I put this in my September book haul, so I'll leave that video above or down below. But I can't wait to read this and see what I think of this one. I thought about making this my 100th book of the year, but I had another book in mind for that. So hopefully I'll love this one. If I don't, I'm going to be really sad. But yes, definitely excited for this one. Next challenge is to read a book with a fall item on the cover, and for me, I'm going to be reading The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I'm finally going to be getting around to reading this. This has been on my shelf since I got it in the summertime, and it says, "It takes a village to open a heart and just one man to steal it." I don't know all these authors on the back here, sadly, so I'll have to see how I feel about this. Purple sprayed edges, love it. And if you can't tell, there's a cozy cottage here, and there's also a bunch of leaves, and it's set in a forest. So I feel like a forest is very fall setting. Next challenge is to have a friend pick out a book for you, and for me, my friend Heather picked out one of my most anticipated reads of the year, and I've been hearing nothing but good things about it, and that is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is the first book of a new series, a new to me series, very popular for you guys, but so stoked to be reading this. Thank you, Heather, for picking this out for me. I'm so happy to hear that you love this one. I think you said you gave it 5 stars, so I'm excited to see if my rating and reading taste lines up with you, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be so sad. But yeah, I meant to read this earlier this year, and I just never got to it. So hopefully this time around, I actually will pick it up. Next is to read a book that you have been putting off for a while, and for me, I definitely need to start picking this book up this month. This is the third and final book of a trilogy that I've been long awaiting for, and that is Children of Anguish and Anarchy by Tomi Adeyemi. Like I said, third and final book of the trilogy, so super stoked to get to this. I hope I love this one. I hope it doesn't break my heart like some people have said. Look at these, another book with stunning stencil edges. I literally pre-ordered this book in the month of June, and I still haven't read it yet. What the heck is wrong with me? Somebody tell me to read this, please. Second to last prompt is to mood read a book, and I'm going to be buddy reading this with my friend Libby, Robin, and Heather. I'm going to leave them down below, but we are all going to buddy read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is going to be my book for mood reads. As you can see, this is like my second contemporary book on my TBR shelf, so I definitely need more contemporaries in my life. This has been recommended to me so many times, but especially from my friend Dana over at Dana Ella here on BookTube. She said I will love this book. I still have my Target sticker on it from when I bought it this summer, so hopefully I will love this. I just need motivation to pick it up. And last but not least is to read a book with the word only in the title, and that's because of Lala over at Books and Lala's buzzword is the word only. And for me, I'm excited to say I'm picking up one of my Owlcrate books, and that is Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. This is a first book of a young adult fantasy series. I almost said adult for some reason. This is a first book of a young adult fantasy series. I really don't remember too much about this one. I did started it the year I got it. I literally got to chapter 2, so I'm definitely going to restart this one. The cover for book 3 just got revealed. This is the beautiful cover for book 3. It's called Once a Villain. Thank you, editing me. I cannot wait to dive into the series. I saw that my local Barnes & Noble still has the hardcover for book 2. So if I see that today when I go in, I might buy it. That way, if I know, that way I have it in my hands, you know? Because I'm definitely going to be reading this one for read a book with the word only in the prompt, or in the title, I should say. But yeah, super stoked to be reading this. Don't remember too much about it. It's the debut novel by this author as well. So I love supporting debut authors. So there you have it. That is everything I want to read for Readathin that's happening in the month of November. Have you read any of these books? What do you thought of them? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys have made it all the way through, let's leave a book stack emoji, because as you saw, there was a stack of books behind me. Let's leave a book stack emoji down in the comments if you made it all the way through. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon, and I'll chat with you guys down in the comments below. Everybody I mentioned in this video will also be left in the description box, so definitely go check them out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.